This is chapter 28, problem 28-14, and we're given here the current market rate for wages or labor, rental of land, and rental of capital. And then we're also given that production managers at this particular firm find that under their current allocation of factors of production, the marginal revenue product for labor is $100, marginal revenue product of land is $1,000, and marginal revenue product of capital is $1,500. The question is the firm maximizing profit? Now, the first step here is to go back and remind ourselves of what the rule is for maximizing profit. And you can look on pages 661 and 662 of your textbook for a good explanation of this rule. There are actually a couple of different rules you can use, and either one will give you the same result. So on page 662, the book gives you the rule you can use for profit maximization, which says that to attain maximum profits, the marginal revenue product of each of the firm's resources must be exactly equal to its price. And so we can already tell that this firm is not maximizing profit because their marginal revenue product, for example, of labor, is $100 and the wage rate is $10. Those are not equal to one another. And so they're clearly not maximizing profit. But that's not one of our choices here. So we know our answer is one of the three no's, A, B, or C. But our choices are the marginal no because the marginal revenue product per dollar spent on each input is not equal, no because the marginal factor cost of each input is not equal, and no because the marginal revenue product of each input is not equal. And none of those explanations fit that particular profit maximization rule. So the other profit maximization rule that we're given is actually a cost minimization rule. And this is on page 661 and actually continues to page 662 of the book. And it says, to minimize total costs for a particular rate of production, the firm will hire factors of production up to the point at which the marginal product per last dollar spent on each factor of production is equalized. So the math for that shows up at the top of page 662. I'm going to use Excel to help me do this math. You can do it with pen and paper, of course. But the formulas that we're given is that the marginal product of labor divided by the price of labor, or wage rate, has to equal the marginal product of capital divided by the price of capital, which also has to equal the marginal product of land divided by the price of land. So in other words, for each factor of production, and in this case we have labor, we have capital, and we have land, for each factor of production, we want the marginal product of that factor divided by the price of that factor to be equal across all those factors. Okay, so in this case, we have, I've already set up a little table here for myself in Excel, so I can copy in here my wage rate. We're told the market wage rate is $10. The rental rate of land is $100 per unit, and the rental rate of capital is $400 per unit. So we can just fill in this in our table here, and then we'll be ready to plug into our formula down here to see if these three things are equal. Because if these three things are not equal, then we're certainly not maximizing profit. Because to maximize profit, we have to have these three. Marginal product divided by price has to be equal across all three of these factors. So the marginal revenue product of labor, we're told, is 100, so that's what goes with wage, right? So wage and labor really are the same thing, wage rate, labor rate. The marginal revenue product of land is 1,000, and the marginal revenue product of capital is 1,500. Oop, an extra zero in there, 1,500. Okay, so the last thing we have to do really is just calculate the marginal product divided by the price, right? Or the rate. And we want to see if those three are equal across all three of our factors. So this first column here is our factors of production. Oops, don't want that giant. There we go. So marginal price divided by, or marginal product divided by price is just going to be, for wage, that's the marginal revenue product, which is 100, divided by my rate, which is 10. For land, it's 1,000, divided by my rate, which is 100. And for capital, it's 1,500, divided by my rate, which is 400. And we can see that though the marginal revenue product divided by price is equal for wage and land, it's much lower for capital. So it's not equal across all three factors, which means no, the firm is not maximizing profit. These three would have to be equal in order for the firm to be acting according to this maximization or cost minimization rule, which is necessary for profit maximization. So because they're not equal, we can say no, and we can say no because the marginal revenue product per dollar spent on each input is not equal. So marginal revenue product, all this means is marginal revenue product divided by cost, or the dollars spent on the input, are not equal. So our answer here is A. There we go. If you have any more questions about this, feel free to stop by my office hours or shoot me an email. Thanks.